Alright, today I have a surprise video for you, and I have not done in this probably a couple years or so, done a license plate update video. I am going back to some of my videos that people really enjoyed. If you check out my channel, you can look up license plates and see the different videos that I have uploaded. Some of them are license plate collections, and some of them are edging to 500 to 1,000 views, I believe, on some of those. One of them I forgot Missouri, and somebody called me out on it, and I was like, good catch. But what happened was that I believe that I had photographed everything and the picture turned blurry, and I deleted that photograph, and I used different cameras back then, so it was not as easy as going back to the iPhone and taking pictures of those. But I wanted to show you some of the newer ones that I have collected, and some of them didn't really get their own proper video from what I understand. So we'll do the best what I can. A lot of them are going to be kind of basic ones or boring ones, but I'll give you a story of each one of them for the most part here. And this one here is one of the later ones I picked up. It's not a license plate, but it's one of those that you put in place of a license plate. The car dealer would have these. This one has a white border on here, but the majority of it is turned kind of a yellowish color. It's hard to tell. This is, for a Ford dealership. I guess it's technically still there. It's under new management several times over, but this was just something that I found at a yard sale, and I thought, you know what, interesting, I'll just grab that one. But, people will add those to collection. I like to have one of each type there. I think I threw out the other one because there's some damage to that. This is a relatively recent California. I believe it's a motorcycle plate here, and I believe I picked this up at a Goodwill outlet, or some people call them the bins. They don't have license plates there very much anymore. But this is September 2005. One of the reasons why that they don't have those is they, were citing eBay rules or something similar to that, saying that, expiration dates or whatever, but they were wrong on that, because eBay says 3 years or more can be expired, and sometimes they do or do not care. Sometimes you could buy them, or they would confiscating them, just depending on. My friend would buy them and turn them into arts and crafts project roofs for birdhouses and things like that. So I tried to grab the ones I could, and the ones super damaged I would give to him. But that's when I found, and I do not have a whole bunch of license plate. I was trying to collect all 50, and it's not hard to do. It just costs you a lot of money. They could be somewhere upwards of $20 a piece. When they were closer to 5 and 10, that was more doable, but I can't do that anymore. Then I got some Oregon license plates here, because Oregon, Washington are very common around here. Some of these are complete sets here, and these are the Crater Lake plates here. I'm not sure that I showed these here. The Crater Lake Centennial, and these were expired in 20. And I want to say that I also got it at the bin store, but a number of years ago. I just don't remember. Last year or the year before. It's been a while, but I haven't seen any plates for the longest time. The numbers are kind of unusual, because there's a really large 1 and 5, and the zeros or the O's and the 3 are a little bit smaller, so it's very unusual plates there. I wonder if 153 is a collectible number there, because it looks like a low number. I guess CL is for Crater Lake. So those could be super collectible, and I have a set of those. I rarely ever get sets, but that's one of the few sets I have. Some of these will be out of order here. This is Washington AOU 4113. Kind of a very ugly looking plate there. I don't know if it was a mistake, but it's got streaks through the paint there. It looks really bad. And maybe this is a reject. I don't know. Maybe that's just how they were doing that, but all these gray streaks through here. It almost looks like they did a bad job of it. Some of that's showing through the metal there, so there could have been some contaminants in the metal that they used, the aluminum or whatever. This is just kind of interesting. I've had this for a while here. This is not a license plate, but it's a license plate frame. It's a place called Lucas out of McMinnville, and I'm not 100% sure, but there was a John Lucas Chevrolet, and this is Chevrolet right here in the corner here, John Lucas Chevrolet, and he was actually murdered, I believe, and I'm not sure if that has been ever solved. It used to be a car dealership, Then it turned into like a local community college annex, and now it's like the DMV. So very unusual building there. But I found this old like 60s or 70s Lucas Chevrolet license plate frame. Some of these are collectible. You would be shocked that some of these are on eBay for $75 to $150 or more. It's crazy. But this one I would, hope to only get $10 out of it if I ever sold it. Then we have, and I've shown this before I believe, this Washington D.C. sample. So I'm not sure if you can still do that, but a number of years ago you could write to Washington D.C. DMV or whatever and get a free sample. And this is the taxation without representation. So I don't have necessarily a Washington D.C. license plate proper. I might now, but when I got that one, I'm not sure why this one is out of the box, but it was just there in this particular pile of newer stuff. This one here is not a license plate. It's a license plate shaped object here, but this is Oklahoma from 1986, and these are the old honeycomb license plates that you could hang off your bikes or do whatever you wanted with those. And I bought the entire set for under $10. It was like $6 or $7, $8 total, and it was easier to do that than getting like 50 boxes of cereal, getting the exact one each time or something like that. So I have more or less the complete set. They're all faded a little bit because they were in the sunlight on a kind of a board with little nails on it. I got those when I was a kid. It's another license plate, and I cannot remember if this came from a swap meet or a Goodwill. I don't know where this one came from, but this is Scenic Idaho. So that's an Idaho. From the camera angle, you wouldn't realize that this is a little motorcycle license plate, but I'll show you the size difference here. We have C0018186L, and there's a size difference there. So quite a bit smaller there. So I'm guessing I have about 5 motorcycle plates now. This one, I'm not sure if this was a set here or not. We got a few more plates here. I don't really need to have, I think probably this is a set, I'm not sure. It almost looks like Cool right there, and 86L. So that could have been something that somebody made up, or that just could be just accidental. It looks like, see, that they never had any registration stickers put on these, so I don't know what they were for. Washington State, back in the day, you could write to them and they'd give you a damaged or a slightly used license plate for free. So that's kind of cool. You can double check online. We have another set here. This is Washington 637 LWG from 2001. These are in pretty good condition. What is a set of plates like this running? Well, on eBay you'd probably be looking at like $12 to $20. And then that may or may not include shipping there. So you might be $20 into these, and then somebody would say, well, I wanted to see them at $1 a piece at a swap meet. I don't know that you can go to scrap yards anymore and look for license plates. That I don't know. That is possible, but I'm not sure that you can do that anymore. Now the last one here, I believe the last one of the day here, this one here, oh yes, I did want to show you this, a comparison. That's why I think this might be a factory second, unless it's some sort of special edition here. But I wanted to show you that damaged plate with the stripes in it here. It's really hard to tell, but then you got this one Washington here, and this one here. See how white this one is and how grayed out this one here? It's the same mountain and everything. So I'm not sure what happened to this, unless it was unless it was used and some sort of environmental damage got onto it from a car. Maybe it got into a fire or something and it caused that darkening there. I don't know, but that's interesting there. And the last one I have here is a movie prop. And if I can get this out of here without doing any damage to it. This came from the TV show Condor, and I believe Condor was around from 2018 to somewhere around 2020, if I'm not mistaken there. It was a while ago. You can go to eBay and type in license plates, Condor, I think, and there's US license plates. I have to be very careful with this because these are homemade plates, but these are overseas plates here. What I mean by overseas, these are made out of plastic, so there's just a blob of plastic here that have rounded off corners here. And these are supposed to be the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I believe. Condor was kind of like a CIA spy show or something like that. And I think Brendan Fraser was in that show. I don't know if he was one of the main characters or not, but so these are not real, but they have, kind of shiny decals on it. So they were used, in some sort of capacity for filming. And I also have the other plate there. I know if I touch them too much, some of these, black marks on there might wipe off here. So I have to be very kind of careful there. But that's that was the cheapest alternative at the time. They don't have any more. The seller does not have any more of those for sale, but they do have some U.S. plates. And it would be kind of fun to pick up some United States plates. And most of them are made out of like some sort of plastic, and some of them are flat, or some of them are raised like this. You can see the raised letters on the back of that one. This is, again, just an update, a quick update to my license plate collection for those people who don't know I have one. Again, you can go to YouTube, and I have not checked out the license plate videos for a long time. The community is not as put together. They're just random people showing off their license plate collections on YouTube. Some of them are just like the state where they live. Some of them are just like, plate runs, different numbers. Other times they're like all 50 states, and that's what I did. Just a backstory before I finish off here. I was at a thrift store, and there was a big collection, and I couldn't get to it, and I told my friend, I said, hey, if you're not going to grab those license plates, can you hand them to me? And he handed them to some other guy. And then I kind of was like, oh man, I told him to hand them to me, because I had kind of claimed, I said I had kind of first claim, and the guy groaned and he gave me half of them. He just threw a bunch of them to me, so that's how I got half of my collection. I abandoned it for, 10, 15 years or more, maybe even 20, and then I just kept on adding them from eBay and swap meets and finished up. I got all of Canada, so take a look at those videos. And if you would like to show your license plate collection, if you have any, they're not very expensive. Each one of them, aside from the fact that there's pairs of them, are going to be 100% unique. All have kind of history to them, and thank you for watching.